Well, before we start the topics of today, I just want to let everybody know that Hamid said that we're going to change our name. And he said that he likes to fake friends. Personally, I think that's kind of weird.
Why?
It just sounds kind of like, I won't say the word, it's sus.
Why?
Sus.
Well, Sprawl is so good though, right?
Sprawl, listen, here's my rationale, okay? With Sprawl.
Okay.
Sprawl is short and sweet. You can do Sprawl NBA, Sprawl Reacts.
But what does that mean
MMA.
though? What does that mean?
Sprawl
Does that encompass you? Are you Sprawl?
No,
What are
because
you?
Tell me, one of the most important parts of MMA is to sprawl,
Okay.
right? As in when you stuff a takedown, right?
Okay, yeah, thank you for
For
clearing
example,
that
you
up.
can do Sprawl Ahad, Sprawl Hamid,
Uh-huh.
Instead of fake friends Ahad, fake friends Hamid. What the hell is that? Fake
No,
friends Ahad? What?
but our channels are together. We don't have our own separate ones.
I mean, speak
Well,
for
why-
yourself. Speak for yourself.
Wait, you already ditching me?
Already, bro.
No, listen. Our plan is to do an NBA one as well, and to do like an independent one as well too. So if you're able to brand it like fake friends, that's
I'm
much
just
better
not sure
than
what you want to
Sprawl
talk about. The
NBA.
independent one. What's independent
When's the last-
for?
What?
Like, bro, we're not Faraz Zahabi.
No, like independent. I
You
mean,
see, actually,
eventually.
you know what? That's a very good idea. Have
What?
you seen the Faraz Zahabi podcast where he does like Ask Me Anything?
Yeah.
Those are very good podcasts.
So there you go. Fake friends. Ask me anything.
I really enjoy those podcasts.
Ask me anything. Fake friends. I'm just telling you. Yeah. Go ahead.
And they ask him anything too. They ask him like, "What's your opinion on like philosophy? What's your opinion on this researcher? What's your opinion on this? On MMA,
What's your
on food?"
what's your opinion on Charles Darwin?
Charles Darwin?
Yeah.
Well, we're not going to start there, but he's very influential. What's your opinion on Charles Darwin?
No, what do you mean? Well, you answer. I asked you.
No, because you're going to get an answer out of me that's going to, not good. Not good.
Anyways, so with fake friends, we're able to brand it a lot better. We're able to like go different places. Sprawl
So you're telling me,
means
wait,
nothing.
pause. You're telling me that if we had fake friends up until now, we would have hit 1,500?
There's 6,000, easy.
That's a lie.
6,000, easy.
That's a lie.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. It's just a matter of time. Right now, a lot of what we're doing is like MMA analysis and like very straight to the point and stuff like that. Once we introduce cameras and videos and stuff like that, then like a lot more personality comes out, and then that's when people start liking
Personally, guys,
the
listen,
videos.
Personally, listen. I might look good
Personally,
on
you have
camera.
no
I might
personality,
look good
so
on camera,
I'm gonna
bro,
have to do it.
Yo, but this guy, you don't want to see him on camera.
Listen,
right?
listen.
You don't want to see him on camera.
Personality, you have none of it, so
What?
I'm gonna have to.
Are you kidding?
I'm gonna have to,
What? It's a
Okay.
complete opposite. I have the personality. You have the other. You have nothing, bro.
I asked you, what do you think about Charles Darwin, and you said he's very influential.
Yeah, bro. What do you want me to say?
Great
What do you want me to say?
personality. I love it.
Listen, you're not
Give me
gonna
some
put me in a
more.
corner, okay?
What do you think about Socrates?
But Socrates, very, very influential.
Bro, wow.
Stoicism.
Man, I just
know?
want to be like you, honestly.
Stoicism, the leader.
Man, came up with the name Sprawl. Oh my god, he said Sprawl NBA. Like in NBA, whenever they get angry at each other, they just start sprawling
You know why?
on
Listen,
each other.
I think the whole name of Fake Friends has no honor. That's why, no honor in that name.
No, but that's the point. Is that you have to have no honor, and that's how you get. That's how you get honor. That's how you get honor.
Oh, yeah.
That's how you get prestige. That's how you
That's
get
pretty
respect.
deep, huh?
Yeah, I don't know what it means. It just
deep.
sounds good to me. But
Well,
fake friends
we're not here
is
for
coming.
a good time. We're here for a long time, right?
Yeah,
So,
honestly, I'm not even kidding. So this month we're gonna start recording videos. We're gonna have a nice setup. Okay, we have some cash flowing in for all
I wonder from where.
those analytical videos. We have some
Speaking
nice
of cash, GameStop to the moon, AMC to
Yeah.
the moon, BlackBerry to the moon.
As of January 31st, it's at what 315. So
Yeah, feels good, man.
we'll see. Maybe if it goes to 800, bro, I'm getting 6 4K cameras. Getting
If it goes to 3,000, and we're gonna buy every single person who comments on this video, we're gonna buy you a Corvette. Okay.
Don't say that stuff, man. You're gonna screw yourself. Anyways, but like nobody actually listens to the full podcast clip.
I mean, how do you know that? Actually, how do you know that?
There's only like at most like 120.
But you listen. But you can't lie though. Those guys who do listen to it, they're legendary. They're very
bro.
legendary. And
if you're listening,
and they have a long
comment.
watch time too. Long average watch time. So.
Yeah. That's probably because I played and I just leave it on my screen.
I mean, it's not just you, right? It's me too.
But if you're watching the thing,
please
full podcast, like comment, say something. Hello.
Say something, man. We're here for you. We're gonna give you, once we have these live streams, man, like we're gonna give you mod status. You know.
You don't even comment sometimes. You forget to do your one comment on the video.
Comment. What do you think of Umair? What do you think of Khabib?
Of course.
Sprawl Podcast.
Start a discussion, boys.
Listen. How about this though? Once you change the name though, what's gonna happen to all the old videos? Does that mean that I have to change all the names of all the old videos? Like
what old videos?
Sprawl Podcast episode 15, or like do we start over, where it's Fake Friends episode 1, or like Fake Friends episode 16?
I think we start over.
Start over. Wow, the disrespect to the come up.
No, like it's a whole new thing because
almost,
like
I think I want to say 3 months now, right?
The sprawl thing was like all just audio based, right? There's no video, but like Fake Friends is
quality audio.
The Fake Friends thing it starts with video, so that's like the first one. And it also helps like whenever you put like one, people are like, oh, on the first episode, I'm in from the beginning, boys.
Okay, listen,
right?
I'll go with Fake Friends, but we have to make at least one T-shirt called Sprawl. Just like
we can put the word Sprawl on like the tag. It's hidden somewhere.
It has to be because we put so much effort into the Sprawl podcast in these past few months that you have to give it respect.
I gave up time and with good friends and I sacrificed so much for this channel. For a moment. Like
okay.
This.
Let's start with topic number 1. Okay, I'm gonna read it out.
You don't have to number them, by the way. You don't have to say topic 1, topic 2, topic 3.
It's easier when I edit it, so don't cut that part out.
Don't
cut that part out. Do not.
I give you the order. You don't have to know the.
Kamaru Usman eyes Masvidal rematch. Finish after shattering nose before first fight, and he went on to say, and by the way, this is from MMA Mania, like we do every single week.
But he did an interview with I think it was Brett Okamoto.
Yeah, from ESPN MMA.
The legend. Yeah, go ahead.
That guy is a very good reporter. Very good.
Is he very influential?
Not too much, no.
Oh, okay, he's getting there. Okay, go ahead.
I was unhappy because as much as I put into preparing for fights, I basically was just on autopilot that fight, Usman told ESPN. A lot of things played a factor in that fight. I'm way better than that. I have way more tools and skills to display than what I showed, because out there I beat him with stuff I've been doing for 5 years. It's me versus me out there. So there's a potential of that fight happening again if he works himself there. But I want to do it again because I want to put an exclamation on it. I want to finish him. I want to impress myself. I mean, buddy, 5 rounds of just
Don't call me buddy. Don't call me buddy.
I'm not calling you buddy. I'm calling
Usman
okay.
Buddy. Yeah, go ahead.
Usman's a sick fighter, legendary fighter. Very good, very funny, especially against Cody. But this guy for 5 rounds in that fight, that was a boring fight, man. He clinched and just foot stomp. I mean, it works. It worked. Yeah. He's still champion, right? But I can see where he's coming from in the sense that he wants that rematch, because a lot of people, that could have been like a breakout fight for him. If Masvidal won, he would have continued on his superstar path, right? But if Usman went in there, knocked this guy out or like finished him fast, it would have put a lot of new eyes on him. Well, obviously, that's not what happened. So what do you think?
I remember I talked about this before. I think it was in an analysis, closer look video that we did. I was saying for
Colby
Usman
and Jorge, right?
Yeah. So
sick video.
I said Usman hugged his way to a decision win, which was basically the story of that fight. But
man, we got some bad comments, eh?
It's okay, no problem.
People were hating on that. You gave him disrespect.
It's okay. So it was just playing like a little fun, because Usman obviously wasn't trying to go for the finish, or he wasn't trying to actually impose his will on Jorge in terms of trying to beat him and like convincingly and show the world like, okay, I'm significantly better. Rather, he went in there and he went, like he said, autopilot. So he clinched with them, he held him there. He tried to gas Jorge out, make him use as much energy as possible. Foot stomps is common. Like, it happens from time to time.
It happened in the Conor fight too, actually. When he
it happens. It happens in so many fights. Like a lot of guys do it. It's not that new of a technique. And like Usman, like echoing what we said. I see where he's coming from. He definitely wants a rematch, but he doesn't want to give Jorge the rematch right away. Like when we talked about the Jorge Usman fight, we talked about how Jorge had 5 days notice or 6 days notice, and really he only had the chance to
very bad weight cut too.
All he had to do was all he had time was to make weight, so he didn't really get to implement a game plan. He develop one, make his skills as sharp as possible. He really just was thrown in there after like killing himself from a weight cut, and then everybody expected him to just like perform to his peak potential. Like yeah, I get it. Like you in that fight, you could tell he tried to go for the finish right away. Like he was throwing big bombs at Kamaru, but Kamaru knew all he had to do really was just go on autopilot.
Did you watch his weight cut video with Jorge?
I think so.
And it was tough, man. I saw it. He was like, he almost passed out a few times after that weight cut because it was so fast, right? And quick thing, like a lot of people, they compare Usman to Khabib in the sense that, you know, they try to drag the fights along. But I found with Usman that like he's kind of the opposite, like because he goes out there, he's not really like trying to finish a fight. Whereas like with Khabib, he's out there trying to ground and pound and, you know, try to.
They're different fighters. They're different fighters.
But they compare often.
Khabib's striking and Kamaru's striking is completely different. Kamaru is very, very like he has his feet both planted on the ground. He has big power shots. He doesn't really throw the jab very much, right? He's very powerful on the feet. And then what he'll do is he'll clinch a lot more. And then when he gets opponents on the ground, he will stall, or he's not as active as Khabib on the ground. The only time that we've really seen Kamaru like stand on the feet and like not go for takedowns or anything like that was against Colby Covington, where he just outpowered Colby Covington on the feet. But Khabib is completely different. I get it.
He's
they
more
both
jab
are
based too, right?
Yeah, they're both like Khabib's a lot more jab based. Kamaru Usman, I get it. He's a wrestler and Khabib's a wrestler, and they both have decision wins or whatever it may be. But they're completely different fighters. But back to.
Well, I guess it comes down to like their explosiveness, as you were saying, right? With Khabib, he's not as explosive, whereas with Usman, he's very just like flat-footed, just jumps towards you, right?
So back to Kamaru Usman and the Masvidal rematch. Kamaru Usman is we were talking about how Jorge had like 5 days notice, all that kind of stuff. Kamaru Usman also had that much notice too. Like we kind of forget that there's two sides to this. Yes, Kamaru Usman had a full training camp. Yes, Kamaru Usman is more in shape and prepared. However, is he really prepared? He was supposed to fight Gilbert Burns, right? Gilbert Burns is a completely different fighter than Jorge Masvidal. They have completely different games. So Kamaru Usman has been training for Gilbert Burns. Gilbert Burns and Kamaru Usman, and Jorge Masvidal need two completely different game plans. Add to the fact, Kamaru Usman has injury histories too, right? He has issues with his knees. And then, sorry?
His back as well.
Yeah, his back is given out too. This man is broken, man. He like his body is about to give up on him. Hopefully he's able to fight as long as he wants to, and his body keeps intact. But his back, his knees, but also in this fight, he said that he broke his nose within a week or two of the fight. Getting like your nose broken is like a big thing. Like it's very, very difficult for fighters to adapt to having a broken nose.
Take a breath.
When you have a broken nose, you don't want to get hit in that nose anymore. So you're more cautious. You flinch more. You react to feints a lot more.
You bleed easier as well.
Yeah, you're less.
From experience, guys. From experience. Okay.
Nobody asked. No, not a single person asked. But you're less willing. You're less willing to exchange on the feet. So you do what you can to conserve or save your nose from getting worse. Because imagine if he broke his nose even worse in that fight, and then he blew his nose. And
Shout out Mike Perry.
Now his eyes are completely gone. So I don't blame Usman in that situation. Like if you need to win the fight, just win the fight. Like it is what it is. Like sometimes you can't worry about the pay-per-views, and you can't worry about what the future is gonna hold for you. You just gotta go into that fight and do what you can to win it. And it sounds like he did that, but at the same time, he wants that fight back. Jorge, he needs to win one fight, at least one fight. Then he can go in there. That one fight cannot be Colby Covington. Do not make that fight Colby Covington.
Why not? Why not? Why not?
We did a closer look video about how a fight between Jorge and Colby happens. If you think about it, Jorge should not kill two birds with one stone. Jorge can go and fight a number one contender fight, say against Wonder Boy, or say against Gilbert Burns, or whoever it may be, except for Colby Covington. If Jorge wins that fight, he gets to fight for the title. Okay, yeah. Make your money, get your title shot, everything. If he loses, right, you have that Colby Covington big fight to go back on. Why would you go for the Colby Covington fight now, risk losing your number one contender fight and your grudge match in one fight, as opposed to
Colby would be like monumental though. It'd be like very, very big numbers.
But that would do very, very big numbers, regardless if it was for a number one contender spot or not. That's what my point is.
Yeah.
So if Jorge wants to stretch out how much money he makes, his revenue power, his earnings, he needs to separate those fights, and I think that's what he's trying to do, because we're not really hearing anything from Jorge. He's keeping pretty quiet. He's AFK. The only thing he's really been saying is, I want a rematch with Kamaru Usman as soon as possible. So if he's saying that, he doesn't want the Colby, and especially making Colby fight now probably will do bigger numbers than say if Jorge were to lose and then fight Colby, and Jorge is not in the doesn't really like the idea of helping
Colby fight them.
Colby making even more money.
Who would Colby fight then if he's not fighting Jorge?
Next fight, I don't
Usman?
know.
If he wins?
no, he just faced Usman and lost.
Yeah,
I don't know. The welterweight division is so messed up with Khamzat and Leon being held up and like Wonder Boy just floating around there. So I don't know. We'll see.
It's not Wonder Boy. It's Stephen Boy. Remember?
Stephen Boy Thompson.
Dana White has named Jon Jones as the greatest UFC fighter ever, while picking Khabib Nurmagomedov as the best fighter right now. Makes sense. This guy is he's trying to make Jon Jones versus Khabib at heavyweight, man. I wonder what he's doing. Okay, so he went on to say, Bones has cleaned out the UFC light heavyweight division, defending his title against some of the biggest names of the sport. He has since vacated his belt as he plans a run at the UFC heavyweight division, with the fight against the winner of Stipe versus Francis 2 on the cards. Well, this guy told us absolutely nothing new, but he's just trying to create drama. But that drama is kind of old now. I mean, like when Khabib first won, there was an argument, but it depends who you ask. You know, if you ask Khabib, for example, he's gonna tell you Jon Jones, right?
What if I ask you?
If you ask me, I'm gonna say Khabib, okay? And that's
Why?
not even the question. Because Khabib is, he's a clean fighter, a good fighter. This guy is undefeated, right? This guy's nothing like
Jon Jones is undefeated too.
He's not hiding underneath rings. This guy went in there, killed the whole lightweight class, and left.
Okay, so then take out all the outside the octagon drama. What did Khabib do? What did Khabib do better than Jon Jones?
Not much, right? But you have to add everything when you answer this question. What? And I think with Jon Jones too is that like in his probably his last 3 fights now, right? Santos, Reyes, and then who was before that? Was it DC?
Sure. Maybe.
Or was it Gustafsson?
Gustafsson, yeah.
Yeah, so those past 3 fights, man, they've been very close, especially Santos and Reyes.
Fight.
Yeah, but Santos and the Reyes fight, man, like it could have gone and it should have gone the other way, especially in that Reyes fight. And we watched that Santos fight like live as well, right? So, and he tore his ACL, MCL, and everything. The guy almost won. He should have won on the score.
Why should he have won? He lost.
No, but if you go through each...
I'm listening. You don't have to tell me to listen.
Landed more strikes.
I'm listening. Hey.
He landed more strikes, you know. He was the aggressor, but you know what happened in the end is that he basically tore his knee off.
Yo,
but,
don't start no fake news, huh? I'm gonna look up
what
that,
do you mean
that fight.
News? What do you mean fake news?
You said he struck more or whatever. He landed more, right?
Bro, read the news. Trust me. Read the news.
Read the news?
Read the news. Read the news.
Okay, I'm gonna look for it. But
okay, while you look for it, I'm gonna keep going on. Okay.
So keep going.
Okay, well, you know, I was saying before, he's trying to create more drama for no reason.
What are you talking about? John, hold on, chill. John Jones versus Thiago Santos. John Jones landed 59 significant strikes, and Thiago landed 43.
That's a lie.
I'm not lying. It's right here.
It's a lie.
I'm not lying. John Jones was 65%.
Okay, man. Listen. Regardless, the whole
Thiago
thing
was 25%
these fights were
accurate.
very close. These fights were very close. Whereas with Khabib in his past probably 6-7 fights now, it's been domination against everybody except for Mr. Real Estate.
Elia Quinta? No.
Because that fight was close. But
so listen. We need to put first of all, let's address the Dana White stuff. Dana White, very, very smart guy, very, very, very good guy. You know why? Because he knows Khabib is gone. Khabib is retired. Nothing really much can be done with Khabib right now until Khabib says, you know what, I'm gonna come back. For the near future, maybe for the rest of this year, Khabib is not coming back to the UFC. Do you know who is coming into the UFC and still fighting in the UFC? Who? Tell me.
Who's coming back to UFC?
Yeah, who's still fighting in the UFC?
John Jones.
John Jones, and who he's already set up to face the winner of Francis and Stipe. Why?
And losing, yeah.
Dana White is the type of guy to promote the guy that he can make money off of currently. He has been with John Jones the longest, right? He's made the most money with John Jones,
yeah,
like
John
long
Jones
term.
Is like he's less money than Khabib. So
He made what?
He's less of a name than Khabib.
I don't know about that. Like, yes, like drawing power. If they were both to have pay-per-views, yeah, Khabib will do more. But John Jones has been in the sport for so long. He's been in UFC for so long. John Jones has more title defenses than Khabib does, like by so many. There's so many like facts. Like, oh my god, he has more title fights than actual regular fights in the UFC. Take that in, John Jones.
I understand that, right? But it always comes back down to his cheating. He cheated.
No,
right?
we're not talking about cheating.
Yeah, but that adds to the whole story, bro. It's
if you look at it from a objective standpoint, without putting your own your assumptions and stuff like that.
What assumptions?
John Jones was acquitted for all those things. Hello?
Yeah, but there were still traces. But
he was acquitted from it. They allowed him to. They said that it was tainted supplements. So what do you want? I get that your own assumptions and your own your goddamn detective Sherlock Holmes over there.
G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joe. No, Sherlock Holmes. G.I. Joe doesn't do investigations.
You're right. Yeah.
You think okay, yeah, I got him. You caught him. Doing steroids, but at the same time he's been acquitted. What do you want? If you want to speak,
man, you know what? I am tired of talking about him and steroids, bro. We've probably had 7 videos now. I'm tired of this.
You're the one that's talking about steroids. I didn't talk about steroids.
I don't even know why I had this topic planned out, man. This is a 2020 topic, guys. Okay, not 2021. We're tired of this topic.
I'm still in the camp. Khabib is the greatest lightweight of all time, hands down. He's the greatest lightweight. John Jones, greatest UFC ever. There's a argument
subjective.
Of course, I said I said my opinion. GSP has a case for being the greatest as well. He gets an edge over John Jones and a lot of people's minds because of that. All of those picograms and stuff like that. But I just John Jones, man, this guy, John Jones, too good, man, too good, so inspirational.
You know what? If he's so good, man, he would. Actually, you know what? I was gonna say if he's so good, he would give us more views, but our highest video is him. So
John Jones going to heavyweight, it's gonna be so fun to watch. Like that is must see pay-per-view TV, where like he's gonna take what like his legacy that he's built. Like he's fought so many times in the lightweight division, light heavyweight division, and beat all these guys numerous times.
You're gonna stream it, bro. You're gonna stream it.
I'm gonna stream it on my PlayStation, where I purchased it for
on crack streams, right?
$89.99.
That's a lie.
And we're gonna do a fight companion on it. We're gonna live stream us watching the fight.
In reality, what's gonna happen is that we're gonna go to crackstreams.com and then we're gonna watch it that way.
Yo, don't spread that negativity. No, we'll have a fight companion. We'll have like a live stream of us watching it, and you guys can watch it legally as well with us and enjoy.
Legally? Well, then we can't have audio or anything.
No, they can watch it legally as well with us. I
think we can have audio, right? Of the fight.
I would try to avoid that.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Just somehow like allow people to like link it up somehow. That's the most difficult part. Like, how do you have everybody link it up if they're not able to fast forward and rewind? Maybe we have to fast. I don't know. Well, we can figure that out later.
We'll see. Okay, we'll see.
That fight won't be until like the summertime anyway. So, like,
Summer of Jones again.
We got Summer of John Jones, bro. Everybody gets elbows, bro. Everybody from the GOAT.
Spitting ones too.
GOAT.
John Kavanaugh says Dustin Poirier beat the best version of Conor McGregor.
Oof.
And before I get yelled at for fake news, I found it on Reddit. Okay, so don't blame me. Blame Reddit.
Was it a clip?
MMA.
Was it a clip or a quote?
It was a quote with no link, but
quote link.
We're gonna go off it.
Okay.
Just
what do you say?
Off good word. So what do I think? I think that this basically confirms that Conor is not up to date with recent MMA. You know, he's fallen off. Because we talked about it last week too. You know, like he wasn't active over these past few years. Fought only maybe once, right? Because the Khabib fight was in 2018.
No, he fought Don Cerrone last year.
Yes, only once in the past 2 years.
Past 2 years. What do you want? What are you talking about?
Year and a half. Relax.
Just say last year he's only fought once. Just say that.
Yeah, but like in 2018 he fought in like October, right?
Yeah.
Or September. So it's been almost
goddamn
like a year and a half.
You're just creating narratives, bro, just to support
what
your
narratives?
points.
Listen, I'm a Conor fan, bro.
He only fought one time in 2 years.
Listen, bro. I'm a Conor fan, okay?
Okay.
Great fighter.
Okay, is he washed? Is he washed?
Is he washed? He is not washed. He's not washed at all.
Keep going.
He's just too flat-footed. But anyways, with Poirier, man, this guy. Listen, we're gonna keep saying it. This guy's been through wars, fought so many of these top guys that there was no way that if Conor came in there fighting flat-footed, fighting the way that he was fighting, that he was gonna beat Poirier, you know. And it was so weird too because if you compare his stance even to the Cerrone fight, it was different. Like in the Cerrone fight, he was more loose, you know. He was throwing some flying knees and like head kicks and everything, but like
that was only like 40 seconds though.
I know, but even then, those were some like very exciting 40 seconds. But with Conor, man, this guy like in that fight just boxing. Listen, I love boxing, bro. Okay, but UFC is not boxing. This guy should have went in there, you know. Should have mixed it up more, you know. Some calf kicks. But obviously, he hasn't fought in a while, so he doesn't know what that.
No, they were aware of the calf kicks. Like they understood that the calf kicks.
Well, obviously not. He wasn't even like.
Calf kicks is not something that's like new that they're not aware of. A lot of it, like there was conversations, it might have been a little bit jokey, but they were talking about using maybe Conor in orthodox position, right? So even though John Kavanaugh maybe is like jokingly saying, "Oh, we're practicing Conor in orthodox," that also tells you like, okay, they've acknowledged that southpaw versus southpaw is different than a typical Conor matchup that he has. Usually Conor faces guys that are orthodox, where he's able to use his left hand a lot easier than he would against like somebody that's Dustin Poirier, who's also southpaw. When you're in southpaw, it's also easier to hit calf kicks from that position, especially when Conor has this wide base just asking to get kicked. There's also other things where they're talking about how when you're just not in the ring, you lose a sense of how to check kicks properly, because usually when you're training, when you're sparring, you have pads, for example. So when you have pads, it's less wear on your body when you get calf kicked, because a lot of it gets absorbed from on the pads. So because you're so conditioned to checking leg kicks a certain way because you have pads on, maybe that's the reason why when he went into the octagon he wasn't like fully checking them. Maybe that's the reason why he was underestimating the damage that he was taking on that leg. So there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. You can tell his game plan and his execution wasn't the best. So Conor might have been the sharpest he's ever been, the most fit. He looked phenomenal. his shape, bro, A1, bro. He looked very conditioned.
But go on, yeah.
He looked very conditioned. He was able to get taken down, clinch. He did those signature shoulder strikes, but he also had a lot left in the tank. He wasn't like visibly like drained or so tired like
he was pretty drained, man. What are you talking about?
He wasn't so tired like in the Nate Diaz first fight that you saw. He a lot of it, the reason why he lost was because of that leg. After that last leg kick, you could see his leg buckling, and then he put his back to the cage and he tried to beat Dustin in Dustin's world, where Dustin hit with those little short hooks, up and down level changes, but Dustin is just too good at that, right? And Dustin is
not Dustin, buddy.
Sorry, wrong letter. But he's just so much better than that. So the game plan maybe wasn't the best. You can also see Conor was in the pocket way too long in his exchanges. So there'd be times where he would come in with a counter, but he would throw maybe one or two extra punches that he shouldn't have been throwing, because Dustin was already out of that range. Dustin was already gone, but Conor was overextending and trying to force his strikes onto Dustin. There was actually a time where he actually kind of rocked Dustin, and Dustin acknowledged it. He's like, listen, if there was a time where he hit me and I was concerned that if he kept going, he was gonna hurt me more. I believe it was in the first round, or I don't remember. It might have been the first round, but that killer instinct and that reading of the situation, you need to be more active. I think Conor recognizes that. I don't think if he fights Dustin again, he gets eaten up on the with calf kicks again. He's gonna be a lot more looser, more agile. People say like, okay, he's so flat-footed. Yes and no. At 145, he was a lot more bouncy because he was lighter, right? He's fighting a lighter weight guys. But if you saw during his fights, he would default to that more boxing stance later. The longer the fight would go, so he just in this fight kind of defaulted to it a little bit earlier. Maybe that's because he was tired. Maybe that's because of ring rust. That maybe for different situations. I think if they were to fight again, I think Conor kind of has the same kind of approach to the fight, but just fine tunes a lot more of his game. He doesn't overreach as much. He lets Dustin come forward. He lets Dustin dictate who strikes first, because Conor is always much better when he is a person that counters, where he's dictating the range, where he's able to move back and enter and exit as he pleases. So I don't think Jan Kavanagh's comment here says Jan Kavanagh's comment makes us think like, okay, Conor was the best shape and it was like the best Conor ever, and he's not able to ever beat Dustin in any fight because this is the best he's ever been. No, I think it's more about Conor was like in the best shape, right? He was the best prepared. He did everything right. He was very, very disciplined. However, there's just stuff that you can't control. Like you can't control getting in the octagon 3 times a year, right? The knowledge that you get from that. Yes, you get damaged, but you also get your system gets more fine tuned. There's so many other things that we discussed about, but Conor, I think if he comes back and he fights Dustin, I think it goes much different. He's much more patient. He's much more Conor-esque, less boxy in the beginning, but you'll see that boxing stance again. But
we need old Conor back with the trash talking.
No, it is. He's older now. It's trash talking. I really don't care for it. It was fun. It was enjoyable to see all those press conferences.
Shite on boss.
Blue lips. Look at ya.
Ali Abdelaziz.
Where's Noah?
Good times.
Yeah.
Next topic. Coach here.
Coach
Coach Javier Mendez's advice for Khabib Nurmagomedov: hold up for GSP or
retire.
Wow. Okay, let's see what he said. Okay, I didn't even know if Conor was gonna do great that Khabib would even fight him, because he's got to ask his mother's permission first. Mendez said in a recent interview with Submission Radio. You guys got to remember, the key thing is that he has to ask his mother too. I didn't see GSP being offered, and I thought that the only way he was going to come out of it was if GSP was in that picture. But based on what happened, I don't see why he would want to come out and fight anybody. Why? This fight with Dustin is not going to motivate him. He's not looking at the money aspect of it. But if they can put GSP on the table, maybe there's a chance there. And I'm not saying it will happen because I don't know, but I'm saying GSP might be the only one. I've always thought it was GSP because that's what his father wanted. And I think if they can get that one worked out and he can get his mother's permission, I think that one could work. But I don't think anybody else is going to work, period.
I told you. What did I tell you? What did I tell you?
What do you mean? What did you tell me, bro? Listen, this guy made a whole video about why Khabib would come back if it was $10 million. Or like $100 million, okay? So don't come out here and tell me about GSP, okay? Because you didn't predict any of this. You said from the beginning he would come back if it was big money.
Yeah, I said there's 2 ways that Khabib comes. $100 million, which doesn't mean necessarily $100 million. It just signifies a lot of money. Or GSP. We have a whole video on that.
2 videos
on our channel. We have so many videos on that. If you guys want to look at that, I was contemplating making a closer look on GSP versus Khabib, but right now Khabib and GSP don't really garner that much attention. It doesn't look like anybody really cares until the fight actually is announced and stuff like that. But
if it's announced,
GSP has always been on the table, or always been a fight that Khabib has been interested in. From back in the day when he was fighting Ali Quinta, I think it was. He was talking about how his father and wants him to fight GSP because GSP is one of the greatest, or the greatest of all time. Khabib has always been watching GSP. He's always been somebody that he's looked up to and admired in the MMA world. The problem is that the UFC has created this narrative where GSP does not want to fight Khabib and Khabib does not want to fight GSP. However, there's so many other signs and just indications that that's not necessarily truly the full story. What's actually happening is Khabib and GSP are willing to fight each other. There's just some small details that need to be ironed out, and the UFC is not willing to put that to pay them what they necessarily want to be paid. If you looked recently at this recent Fight Island, there was a time where the Schmo was doing an interview with the
Schmo.
He was doing an interview with Matt Serra and Dean Thomas, and Khabib just walks by. So Schmo, I don't know if you saw this clip, but Schmo just gets
that was the funniest video of all time. He's like, yo,
Khabib, come. He shakes his head like 3 times, right? So he's like, yo, Khabib, GSP. And Khabib basically says, yo, I'm in GSP's DMs. I'm telling him, let's fight. So there's so many other signals and references where Khabib's in Russia doing a conference, and he's like, oh, I'll come back for 100 million or maybe GSP, something that competitively interests me, right? That's what he wants, and that's what Javier is also referring to. competitively interesting. Competitively speaking, Khabib's already beat Dustin, right? Dustin beat Conor, but what does that really change? Does that mean that
do MMA math here, guys? Remember?
Yeah, you don't do MMA math. So
I do.
Yeah, you can do it. So what does that really change? And Conor, he's saying, I don't think Conor was ever going to happen according to these circumstances. And I get it, because what does Conor being Dustin really do for him? Does that make Conor any better? Does that change anything for Conor? I think that was a potential if Conor won, just because of the amount of trash talk and the money that Dana would throw at Khabib. But now that there's no Conor and there's like really Dustin, is like, okay, I beat Dustin. He interests me, right? I think he will be the lightweight champion, but I don't know if it's worth me coming out of retirement just to fight Dustin again. So what's left is GSP.
Tony Ferguson.
I thought no, Tony Ferguson, man. That fight is never gonna happen. It was never meant to be. It was never
too soon.
It was never meant to be. But GSP, I said in the analytical video that we did, I don't know, it was like a month ago or so. I said it would be at the end of 2021. So end of this year, it would be GSP versus Khabib for a not. So one of the issues was, what weight does this happen at? Khabib doesn't want to face a 170-pound GSP. And GSP doesn't necessarily want to cut down to 155. He says it's too hard for me to cut down to 155 because I'm getting older, but also 155 is putting me at a disadvantage and putting Khabib at an advantage because he's used to at 155. He's more in tune with that weight class. So what I proposed was, how about you do a catch weight fight at 162.5, which is in between 155 and 170, and do a greatest of all time title, because why not, right? Because you
Sound
did
like the wrestling man. The Vince McMahon, WWE.
You did a BMF title. So if the issues are they don't want to fight each other at each other's respective weight class, okay, do a catch weight. You don't want the lightweight title or the welterweight title to be involved? Okay, let's do a greatest of all time title. I think that interests both of them because it brings attraction, just like the BMF title did. But this is probably even bigger now because you already have this narrative out there that Khabib is the greatest of all time. And you also have this narrative that GSP is the greatest of all time. So why not just have this mega fight, do it in Russia, 300 million Russia, and have this fight in a huge stadium. Everybody there has the shots for the vaccines, no problem. And just
we love live crowds. We love them.
You love live crowds especially. So have that fight. Oh my God, I think I don't know if those guys would agree to doing catch weight. I have no idea, but this is just something that I would propose. I would just be like, listen, Khabib, GSP, Dana, sit down. 162.5, greatest of all time title, one fight, settle everything, and you guys both just never fight again. That's it.
It's like Sasuke and Naruto.
Oh my, yeah. So
oh my God.
That fight could be on a pay-per-view by itself. Like nobody else on that pay-per-view.
Could you imagine that?
It would sell like 2 million easily.
3 million, bro. 3.
I don't know about 3 million, just because like GSP came back against Michael Bisping and didn't even do 1 million. So
if Floyd could do it, Khabib and GSP can.
Yeah, so maybe do a 3-way. Maybe do Khabib versus
free for all.
No holds barred versus Khabib.
No holds barred.
Floyd Mayweather. You throw Islam with a surprise entrance. You know, he just comes in.
And then Brock Lesnar out of nowhere.
Oh my God! Imagine, that'd be so good.
Charles Oliveira responds to Khabib saying he's levels above current UFC lightweights. Okay, so he went on to say to MMA Fighting in his recent interview, he said, "You have to respect the man." Charles Oliveira.
Okay.
MMA
Charlie Olives.
Charlie Olive. The Bronx. Okay. You have to respect the man. 29 wins in a row. Never lost his career. He's dominated everyone he's fought. He's beaten the big names he's beaten the big names in the division, but he hasn't fought me. So he can't say he's levels above everyone. He can say he's better than the ones he's fought. He's beat Poirier and Conor McGregor. So he can say he's better than those guys, but he can't say he's better than me because he's never fought me. Well,
I
very
think
nice wording by Oliveira.
Yeah, I get what he's saying, but you can kind of say he's better because of the other stuff as well. I get what he's saying. He's just saying, me personally, he can't say that he beat me until you actually beat me. But Khabib is saying that because like other people have beat Charles Oliveira, that Khabib has beat, and Khabib is just like the champion, and Charles Oliveira.
But you can't do math, bro. As you're saying.
Listen, Khabib loves to do math. He's a mathematician, bro.
MMA.
We did a closer look at Khabib versus Charles Oliveira, and I took a lot of time watching Charles Oliveira fights
for no views,
and watching Khabib videos. Fights that he's been in. The video didn't do that bad. It has like almost close to 1,000 views. So.
What the hell's 1,000 views, bro?
So maybe if you link the video in the description and put it on the screen now, it might get a couple more views. If you guys watch it, it's an in-depth look at how does a fight between them go. So a lot of
spoiler alert. Spoiler.
Yeah.
Khabib wins.
Yeah. Spoiler. I did Khabib wins. I don't remember too much details about it because it was such a long time ago that I did it. But
you were talking about the ground game, basically.
Yeah.
Jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. So Oliveira really relies on sweeps when he's taking people down or whenever he's taken down. Especially in the beginning, early rounds, he has a lot of he's much more active, trying to get sweeps and positions. He doesn't always get them, but he does sweep a lot of people using momentum of both of the fighters' weights. He's very good on the ground, is what I'm trying to say. Khabib, on the other hand, he's very good at getting people on the ground and just holding them. When you're holding a fighter, it's very draining on the other opponent, as well. It takes a lot of their movement and control out of the equation. So Khabib will look to do that. He will go in, he'll take him down pretty easily because Charles Oliveira really has a very high guard. So he doesn't really have his hands low to sprawl or to like stop a takedown. So Khabib will get him down and he will hold him and stall. He will hold him and try to do his signature figure four lock. Right? He'll do all these stuff to just hold Charles Oliveira in place to prevent him from moving and trying to throw any submissions, anything like that. From there, Charles Oliveira is not the best at avoiding strikes from the bottom, especially when he's not moving that much. If he's not sweeping you and he is on the bottom, he is very easy to hit. Paul Felder was able to hit him multiple times, especially with elbows. Elbows from like a guard position is like from the bottom. It's kind of easy to avoid because like elbows are like so like small and like it has to be very, very accurate. Khabib is like the master at a ground and pound. He's just gonna
all his plan.
He's gonna just go in there, stall. He's gonna wait for Charles Oliveira to just give up or stop moving. Once he stops doing that, Khabib's just gonna rain down punches on him, wear him down, and just beat him like that. So
like an AC 130.
Yeah, Modern Warfare 2 reference.
Modern Warfare 2 reference.
So Khabib will look to do that in that fight. I don't think Charles Oliveira has the ability to sweep Khabib, just because of the strength difference. Khabib has shown that he is able to body lock people, and within that body lock, I forget what the technique is. Say Khabib has a person's back, and the person, what they'll do,
rear control.
The wrestling move that they do, I think it's called a switch, where they level change. They like sit down, right? They grab their opponent's like left leg, and they'll use that to spin back around. So they'll use that to spin counterclockwise towards their opponent's back. So I think Dustin tried to do that. And when Dustin tried to do that, he wasn't able to do that switch because Khabib's body lock was just so strong. He had such a grip on him that he wasn't able to break Khabib's grip and go around him. So there's so many other examples where you can just see Khabib's grappling strength is just way too strong. To expect Oliveira to sweep him, and especially with like using momentum sweeps where as he's getting taken down, he uses that momentum to flip Khabib over. I don't think that's going to happen. Khabib has just shown that he's able to stick with his takedown and able to end up on top literally almost every single time. He did that with who else did he do that? I think he did that with Justin too, where Justin tried to get position on him, but he just kept sticking with the takedown. He also did that with, I think, the Conor fight, right? Where where it looks like the opponent after sprawling is able to sweep Khabib and get on top. Able to sweep Khabib and get on top, but Khabib just sticks with the takedown with his iron grip, with his diamond hands, and just finishes it.
This guy that reference, bro. Of course he's gonna make it.
And finish it.
And quick thing too. You know, you mentioned Sprawl at least 7 times so far.
Yeah.
FYI. One.
Yeah. So I don't think Charles Oliveira would be able to stop that. So there's a lot more that goes into this. If you watch that video, that should be on your screen. Hopefully, if our content manager puts it up on the screen.
Probably not, but yeah, maybe. You never know.
Just go to our channel. Look. You'll see. It's the thumbnail is Khabib and Charles Oliveira squaring off.
There's a whole playlist on the homepage.
Oh yeah.
Go on the playlist, and you can watch all of them if you want. Actually.
So
very good videos.
How do you think the fight between them goes?
I mean, I'm going to go with what you said, and I'm going to go with your closer look video. I'm going to go with Khabib winning because you can't compare to Khabib's wrestling, you know? This is, what's that shirt that he had on one time? If it was easy, it would be called BJJ. This is not easy. This is Sambo.
He said if Sambo was easy, we would call it.
It'd be called BJJ. Yeah, fire.
Very
shirt.
disrespectful.
So I'm going with Khabib. I'm gonna go with Khabib.
Khabib.
Yeah, Khabib.
Yeah, of course. I did a whole goddamn.
I know.
It'll be a fun matchup though. There's always a chance that Charles Oliveira goes.
It's not gonna happen, but yeah, nice matchup.
Like Charles Oliveira's caught like guys like Kevin Lee with guillotines as he was going for a double leg takedown, but Kevin Lee and Khabib was a completely different situation. Kevin Lee got caught in like I think it was the second or third round. He was very very tired and it was a very sloppy takedown attempt. I don't know why.
Kevin motivated Lee. Kevin head tattooed Lee.
Yeah, Kevin doesn't have many holes in his game, but
he's a hole in his head.
He got what the hell? Anyways, next topic.
To actually see this one.
What is?
It's all you, man. I'm gonna give it to you. You read it out.
What is it?
Ottoman. Enjoy.
It's not Ottoman. This guy. I just looked at the topic. It's Ottoman Azatar. I think that's how you pronounce it. He was removed from UFC 257 at Fight Island because he violated the COVID-19 protocols. So he's been in the UFC for not too long. He's been for I think one fight only. He's part of the Ali Abdulaziz camp where
Where's Noah?
So he's been like a new up and comer. He's has a lot of power in his hands, but unfortunately he's been cut from the UFC. So what happened on Fight Island that according to Brett Okamoto, the German Moroccan lightweight was slated to face Matt Frivola at UFC 257 on Fight Island. The security team noticed an unauthorized person entering the fighter hotel with a wristband provided by Ottman to deliver a bag to the fighter's room. He said it's just bad. That's Dana White. Dana White would go on to say he's gone. He's no longer a UFC fighter. He's not fighting at UFC 257.
Poor guy.
Dana White went on to say that the person shimmied across multiple balconies to enter Ottman's room. He said
Spider-Man.
He said Ahmed and his entire team were directed off the property Friday. So basically, what happened was somebody was decided that they wanted to be Spider-Man, and they climbed all the buildings with a wristband given by Ottman, and left a bag in the room. Like, what's in the bag? Who knows? Which
this is delivered from Russian mafia. This is only business. Enjoy.
He's Moroccan. He's not Russian.
Yeah, same thing. Oh no! I'm kidding. Listen, do not flame me for that, okay? So it's only a joke. It's only a joke. Relax.
It's kind of like, I don't want to be like laughing at him or like making fun of him, but like after this situation that happened, he started like putting up like quotes about not judging people and how patience will reveal truth, which is kind of what's funny is he posted a tweet and said patience reveals truth with a smiley face, but then what he had attached was a shirtless picture of himself. Which I don't get. Like, what is that supposed to mean? So,
man, I think you're just hating this guy for no reason.
No,
okay? That's what I think.
I'm not hating.
I think that this all comes down to Spider-Man. Okay, I blame Spider-Man. I don't know what the hell he was doing, bro. This guy's climbing through balconies, bro.
I still don't think anything came out, like revealed, like what was in the bag, like
drugs.
No, what I saw was a rumor when it first came out was it might
pizza.
Burger, Diet Coke,
burger, double cheese.
No, I think one of the rumors was that it was an IV kit, so for him to replenish his fluids after he did his weight cut, because you're not allowed to in the UFC use IVs anymore. So there was a rumor because it was banned like 3 years ago, or maybe more than that. It just, people were saying, oh, it's cheating, it's not natural, blah blah blah. Because after the person would make weight, they would directly put fluids into their system, as opposed to what they do now is they do it through the mouth, right? So you consume it. But if you do it through an IV, it like directly goes into your system, as opposed to the other way around. That's a possibility. That might be the reason why somebody scaled the goddamn building 4 floors or something like that. I have no idea, but maybe he put that IV system in there, or it might be something else. But
Mohammed Spider-Man,
Ottman is out here saying patience will reveal truth. So he's gonna say something. Let's see what he says. It's been goddamn like 3 weeks or something. How long has it been? 2 weeks.
It was a burger, double cheese with Coke.
Imagine who is willing to scale the goddamn building for a cheeseburger sandwich.
Spider-Man.
Oh man, maybe it was, I don't know who it was, but we'll keep up to date on this. We'll see what happens.